So for the last 3 days, I've been doing a dopamine detox slash DIY solo yoga retreat. I found this 5 day course on Aloe Moves that this dude Josh Kramer does. I love this dude. It's really hard to find guy yoga teachers that have his sort of physique and his technique, and he's really inspiring to watch. So I figured this was a perfect thing for me to do. He has it over the course of 5 days, but I only had 3 days where I didn't have work or any other sort of social commitments. So I condensed the 5 day retreat down to 2.5 hours a day. I, along with this, had my normal meditation practice, my evening stretch routine, and I did breathing and a little bit of like walking, overall cleaning, self care, and I'll talk more about that as I talk about the individual days. I fortunately had 3 days where I didn't have any social commitments or work, so I thought it was a perfect time to sort of shut everything out. I didn't use any social media, of course, no porn or no video games or anything like that. I did use email and text, but I limited the apps on my phone to 15 minutes a day, so that was as minor as possible. I had a notebook that I wrote in and a book that was really short that I thought I could finish in the day. And I'll probably finish it by the end of today. Before I started doing this routine, I actually had a little injury at the gym. So I was a little stiff, a little sore. I wasn't really feeling a lot of the workouts, but I still went through it as best as I could and got what I think I needed to get out of it. So day one, the first day I felt pretty good. Like I said, I was coming off a mild injury, so I was feeling a little stiff, a little slow, but it was pretty fun to get back into a daily yoga practice. A large part of what Josh Kramer talks about during these yoga classes is reigniting your practice, reigniting the passion and feeling you have when doing yoga, which I've kind of lost. I do yoga all the time, but sometimes I just don't want to do it. I like going to the gym or just doing any other sort of physical activity. So day one, everything felt pretty good. I was pretty excited to start a new little challenge for myself. I love doing things like this. Like I said, I had a little bit of an injury, so I was feeling a little slow, a little stiff, but I thought moving around, especially doing a yoga practice, would really help. Along with the 2.5 hours of yoga that I did, there was also a journal prompt workshop that he had, where he gave us a series of questions. One of the questions was 5 long-term goals, 5 things I wanted to implement over the course of the retreat, things I like about myself, things I want to improve about myself, and finally my overall vision or aim for why I'm doing this or what I want out of life. I really love doing journal entries, especially on a retreat or on a vacation. I feel like it's a good way to just cleanse myself of unnecessary baggage in my mind. So that was a pretty good thing. I honestly felt so tired after the second hour of yoga. After I took a break and did some breathing and some meditation, I did another class because I had to, and I was so tired. Oh, I forgot to mention along with this, I was doing intermittent fasting. So I would only eat from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So it was 18 hours off, 6 hours on. And I'm not used to doing intermittent fasting. I usually just eat whenever I want. And I work out a lot, so it never really catches up with me. But doing this, I thought would be a good little challenge for myself just to fast. I just don't fast enough. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I was really, really, really tired. I was super hungry. I ate, and then I passed out super early. I want to say the sun was still up by the time I went to bed. I was also kind of bored, to be honest. I'm not used to doing dopamine detoxes. I like watching TV. I like going on the internet, like looking on Reddit, just doing things that I can learn from, but also sort of inspire me. Or I just like having things going on besides just my own thoughts and my own writing. But again, it's a challenge, and I thought it'd be a fun one. So, anyways, at the end of this day, I felt pretty okay. I went to bed. I slept really well, ate really well, and that. So, day two, I woke up feeling so tired. My body was exhausted. I definitely didn't eat enough the day before. I should have planned out my meals a lot better. The caloric intake was completely off. But anyways, I did my morning routine. I meditated. I did my first 1 hour yoga class in the morning. I felt pretty sore doing that class. That little injury that I had kept flaring up. It felt like it was getting even worse just from overuse, I think. I'm pretty used to having injuries at this point though, so I fought my best through it, and I kind of just tried to smile. And I understand that my body hurts sometimes, and it'll eventually go away. But yeah, I was pretty sore. After this class, I decided to go outside and repot some plants and have do a little yard work and just have a moment, just peace and quiet, doing something very gentle, nothing that would really strain my body, get some sunshine, and that felt really good. After that, I did a little bit more breathing, a little meditation, and went for a walk. Read some more. At this point, I was crashing. My energy levels were just completely depleted. Mentally, spiritually, I felt connected to source, to the universe, to God, or whatever you want to say. I felt energetic and optimistic. Everything felt good except for my body. My body was so tired at this point. I did, however, do my fourth class of this series, the fourth hour of yoga. I was actually so out of it and wasn't even thinking that I didn't record this class, but I did go through the class and it sucked. I could barely hold anything. I was falling all over the place. I was in child's pose, I would say at least half of the class. But I did get through it, and then I did breathe and I did move to the best of my ability. After that, I was so tired and exhausted that I couldn't even eat. I tried my best. I've had this feeling before when going to the gym and having a really hard workout where I think I want to puke kind of, but I can't. And then trying to eat just feels like so much extra work. So I didn't even eat. I had breakfast yesterday, but I didn't eat the rest of the day. So instead, I really chilled. I read. I actually took an Epsom salt bath to help relieve some of my sore muscles, which was great. I love taking baths. I'll probably make another video about how much I love taking baths sometimes. But I did that and then I immediately passed out. And then I woke up on day three, which is today. I woke up so incredibly sore, so incredibly tired, obviously in a good mood, in a great place energetically, mentally, spiritually. I feel connected and loved and supported, and everything is amazing, but my body really hurts. I don't know if it's from that initial injury I had before I started this or the overall intensity of the yoga classes I was doing with Josh, but whatever it was, I am so sore today. So I woke up, I meditated, and then I did this fifth and final yoga class. Well, sort of the final one. I'll explain. So this fifth yoga class was an hour long, same as the rest. We did a lot of the same postures, the same poses, but like I said, my body was killing me. I couldn't really forward fold. I couldn't move. I just felt stiff. I felt uncomfortable. I felt really optimistic and good because I know this is just a temporary situation and it's going away, but I felt miserable doing this. And that's when I decided I'm just going to kind of wrap this up now and start making the video and getting this out here because I need to be moving on to something else. There's actually one more class I need to do later tonight. It's a sunset stretching class. That's kind of the finale of the whole series. I'm going to do that on my own and not record it and just sort of have a moment to realize that I worked this entire 7.5 hour long series in 3 days. And it was brutal. And I learned that I should really plan a lot more before I do challenges like this. So overall, the classes were pretty cool. He was in Costa Rica recording these, and throughout the whole series, he talks about how sweaty he is, and you can see him sweating the entire time. But where I live at this time of year, it's been really cold, or not really cold, but it's been cold enough where I'm not working up a sweat doing these classes, and it's really not as fun and enjoyable, and doesn't feel as much of a reset as I would like it to have felt. But that's not the class's fault. I think it's just a general the vibe, you know. I also learned a few things from the class. He has us doing 1 minute to 2 minute long headstands, which I never do headstands. I like to handstand a lot, but I don't ever do headstands. So it's been pretty fun to incorporate longer headstand holds. It feels pretty crazy standing on my head for a long time. It's been pretty fun. I think overall it was a pretty nice thing. I feel like I should have planned it a lot better, like I said, especially planning my meals out. I wish when I've gone on actual in-person yoga retreats, they've had the meals as an integral part of the schedule where it's communal and you're eating this good, delicious, nutritious food. But I had none of that. I was doing this completely alone. I would make whatever food I had around the house, stuff I would normally eat. So it didn't really feel like I was cleansing myself and reinvigorating myself in the way that I would have gotten from a actual in real life yoga retreat where I left my house and did something differently. So yeah, if I was going to give any sort of suggestions to anyone planning to do something like this, I would say plan, plan, plan. Also, try to have a partner or a community of people with you to maybe get an Airbnb somewhere, take a trip just to reset, not just by yourself. Because as stoic and as much as I love being alone and my own personal space, it really feels kind of depressing after a while when I'm just thinking to myself, I'm just writing to myself and going through these series of like painful, uncomfortable situations just alone. I think overall it was beneficial. I mean, obviously it's beneficial. It's a thing to do. It's a thing that happened in my life. So I'm grateful that I got to experience it. I got to breathe and move and flow at all. Like, obviously, I'm so grateful for that. But I think I probably could have planned this better. Probably could have picked better classes that fit the weather and my bodily energy a lot more. But besides that, I don't know. I did my best and I thought it was pretty fun. Like I said, I like doing these challenges for myself a lot. I feel like they take me out of my comfort zone. They force me to find new things and do new things. And it's fun to make a little bit of content about it after just to share with you that, I'm here, I'm doing these weird things and maybe you are too. And maybe you get something out of this. I don't know. But thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.